Before we look at some examples of the noun clause, let us see some sentences and try to identify the noun clauses in those sentences. I agree that he is a good singer. Listen carefully to what the policeman has to say. He thought that Kiara would never come for his party. I had no idea where his house was. Jatin decided what they should wear for the play. In all these sentences, you must have noticed that the noun clauses begin with some words like that, why, what, where. Keeping this in mind, you can now re-look at these sentences. I agree is one clause. That he is a good singer is another clause that is dependent, that is noun clause. Listen carefully to what the policeman has to say. So what the policeman has to say is a noun clause in this sentence. He thought that Kiara would never come for his party. That Kiara would never come for his party, this part is a noun clause. I had no idea where his house was. So this part of the sentence, where his house was, is a noun clause. Jatin decided what they should wear for the play. So what they should wear for the play is a noun clause. Let us see some more examples that we had in the test. Mother told us that she would prepare sandwiches. So we have to fill or we have to add noun clause in it. That is why we added that clause, that she would prepare sandwiches. One always wonders. So one always wonders can be complemented with some clause that begins with why. One always wonders why the sun rises in the east. How can you guess? Another sentence, how can you guess? It can be completed with how can you guess what I want? He cannot be held responsible for what has happened. So what has happened is a clause that is added to this sentence to complete the complex structure. It is a tragedy. It is a tragedy that Sumit has failed. So that Sumit has failed is a noun clause. Some other sentences that need noun clauses to be added. Let us see at those sentences. Dash seems doubtful. So dash seems doubtful in this blank in the beginning of the sentence. You can sometimes in the beginning of the sentence that clause occurs. So that he will help me seems doubtful. Pay attention to. How will you complete it? Pay attention to what I say, what your teacher says. I do not know blank. I do not know that he is corrupt. The report blank dash is there. The report blank is untrue. So noun clause has to be filled in between. The report that he has stolen the money is untrue. Another sentence, life is, one has to add a noun clause here. Life is what we make it. He is what you have guessed him to be. It is true. It is true that life is a struggle. Again, a that clause. My success depends on what my parents do for me. Sometimes you can get a pair of sentences that you have to join to make a complex sentence. Suppose you get a pair, we should visit the theater. This is his suggestion. This is his suggestion that we should visit the theater. The audience listened to the speech. The speaker gave that speech. The audience listened to the speech. The speaker gave that speech. Now these two sentences, these can be joined. The audience listened to what the speaker said. The audience understood the speaker. It was the wonder. It was the wonder that the audience understood the speaker. He is a poor man. This is a fact. This is a fact that he is a poor man. The patient has died. This is my fear. This is my fear that the patient has died. The police has solved the case. This is the news. The news is that the police has solved the case. She will top the list. This is certain. This is certain that she will top the list. The film was boring. It was a fact. It was a fact that the film was boring. There were some other questions related to some linking words. Sentences like we found a table dash the cafe was crowded. So we found a table although the cafe was crowded. And it can be used although the cafe was crowded. We have to put comma then. Although the cafe was crowded, we found a table. So, another question that was asked, she wanted to report on the war dash the danger in spite of. She wanted to report on the war in spite of the danger. Because we use in spite of before a noun, sometimes before the ing form of a verb also. He went on working in spite of feeling unwell.